your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, how are you guys? Good to be back on this Saturday night. Saturday for you guys. It is Sunday afternoon down here in Australia after our Anzac Day yesterday. Got some updates for you. That case that we were looking at last night in Florida, the missing case of the two USF students, Nahida, Sultana, Bristy. The one who has not been found, she is the female. I heard some interesting information. We're going to get into it. Last night they were still searching for her, but then I was reading some other information overnight. We'll get into it, but there's some other information that I need to show you because it's not great. It's not great. I feel like this guy, this roommate of Zahid, his roommate, Hisham, really did a number on these two. Like, you got to ask, like, what drove this, and we'll talk about that all in a minute. Let me get set up, and we'll get into it. Hey, good to see you guys. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. There's some weird shooter at a correspondence dinner. How he got in there with a weapon, I got no idea. Had a number of weapons on him, including a shotgun, handgun, and multiple knives. I don't know. What's wrong with people? What's wrong with people in the world? I got no idea. Here you go. I'm going to show you a photo. There you go. Face down on the floor, covered with a silver emergency blanket. Because obviously when you have your weapons taken off you, you get cold or something. I got no idea. Hey, good to see you guys. Good to have you here. Hey, Christina. Christina says, I don't usually participate in the chat. Hey, good to see you. Thank you for being here for the first time. Says, but I want to let you know I love your channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, always fun to learn a new name. Even if we maybe don't see you again, it's nice to just have people pop in and say, hey, I'm here. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. You made my Sunday afternoon. You made my Sunday afternoon. I appreciate it. It's very kind. Rachel said, I read he bum rushed the security checkpoint. He's lucky he didn't end up with like a 40 caliber in the head, because they have free reign to just shoot people if they do that. He's very lucky they decided, yeah, not today. We don't want to ruin President Trump's, event by shooting someone in the head. So they decided to just, take him down instead. So he's very lucky. He's very lucky. Good to see you guys. There's your photo of the shooter. Why he did it, I got no idea. I think just some people are. I think what's happening in our world is politics in general is becoming. It's always been like a fire issue. Like, you get your both sides. There's a lot of people who are willing to commit violence for it. Because it is power. It is power over a country, if not the entire world, especially in America, being the superpower that they are. And people just get so, I don't know, they just get so caught up in it. They think they really take on that message that you can be the change that you want to see in your country, except they take it the wrong way and decide, I'm going to go shoot someone and that is going to be the change. But what they never realize is it doesn't actually change anything. You just become a funny bit of trivia that we all talk about for like 2 days. and then we forget who you are. That's it. And you don't go down in history. You don't become some flashpoint issue. You just have your dumb face on a live stream like this while you're being thrown on the ground. That's all that ever happens, unfortunately. And it's gone to another level over the last decade or so. More people willing to actually go out and commit these type of crimes because they think whatever part of politics that they're really interested in is the only one. It is the only answer forever, and everyone else is wrong. Doesn't matter what argument you put up. Doesn't matter what anything. They just go, no, you're wrong. That's it. My way or the highway. That's the American way, and then they do this. So I don't know what to tell you guys. There's just a lot of people who, instead of doing it the right way, they do this. So he's going to probably go to jail. Needs a mental health eval, and we'll see what happens after that. But glad they were able to sort of get him. Looks like there is new video that just came out. Can we play it? Yes, we can. Geez, they got really terrible cameras in this place. Music. Wow, that's like he like ran through security. They're lucky they didn't blow him away. Why is the camera so terrible? Why is it so blurry? It's like we've gone back to the 1970s. He like Naruto'd it. He's like Naruto, look. He did the Naruto run past security. That's what he did. He did the from the Japanese anime Naruto and basically ran past them. He's lucky. 6 shots fired. He's lucky they didn't kill him. Really. Very lucky. Espion said, well, yet again, YouTube didn't tell me you were live. Lucky you check. Lucky you check the channel. Lucky you see that we're here. So yeah, I don't know exactly what are they saying is going to happen to him. Trump described him as a sick person, a very sick person. He's a lone wolf, a whack job. These are crazy people. Sick people. Have a funny feeling that the great President Trump, you know, served 2 terms. We should give him the respect that he deserves for running those 2 terms. I feel like as president, we could probably expand his vocabulary just a little bit. Just a little bit. He seems to have some very favorite words that he likes to use often. And one of them is, as a descriptive for people he doesn't like, is the word sick. He uses it to describe a lot of people. But apparently this guy too, very, very sick, according to President Trump. So we'll see what happens with this. I can't begin to tell you whether I haven't been following it, to be honest. I've been following the storms heading over the so yesterday we had like a low pressure system that was further north, and it was affecting like Oklahoma, Kansas, Iowa, and I think even a little bit of Missouri. Now that low pressure system moves south, and it's directly over, I think, Louisiana, but it's generating storms into Texas and southern Oklahoma now. So it's sort of like it was further north and it was generating storms up and around and to the north. Now it's moved further south and it's ejecting storms on the backside of it up into Texas and then into Oklahoma. So I've been sort of watching that. I haven't really been following this that much, but there's your weird video that looks like it came from the 1970s. His name is Cole Thomas Allen from Torrance, California. What's he doing? Where was this? Was this in Florida? At the in Washington. Washington Hilton. Freak was he doing in Washington? So he drove all that way to do this. I ain't driving to Washington for nothing. I think, I always wonder about the mentality of people, even more so in true crime, people who can keep that rage for such a long period of time and still get to the end of their journey and then commit that crime. And this guy is very similar, just applied it in a different way to some of the murderers that we talk about. So yeah, very, very strange. So where was it? Let me have a look. Which Washington? Washington, DC or Washington, Seattle? Which one was it? I'm guessing it's Washington, DC. Yeah, it is. It's Washington, DC. So he basically drove cross country from California to Washington, DC. Jeez. I mean, you cross country from LA? Far out. It's like it's a what, how many hours is that? That's got to be a 2-day drive at least, right? Got to be. LA to Washington DC by car time. Are we? Did we just freeze? I hope we didn't. Guys, if the video freezes for like say more than 30 seconds, please let me know. Because we're having some weird issues with the light and the light drawing such power from the circuit board that it's causing the camera to freeze. We have a solution coming. We've ordered a brand new USB, whatever you call it, a powered USB hub, a second one. We ordered a second one, so light on one and the camera on the other. So if it freezes up for more than half a minute, let me know in the chat. Robot? I'm so confused about what's the sound is breaking up, but we don't get it. I don't get it. I, I don't get it. Our internet is running really well. Let me have a look at our Wi-Fi. Are we on Wi-Fi or are we on the other one? Let me have a look. Give me a sec. All right. All right, let's turn that off. All right. We're going to go to the Ethernet. I'm going to switch to the Ethernet. I can do both and see if that kind of helps what's going on. I sound like a robot. All right. We've switched to the Ethernet. Hopefully that might maybe stabilizes it. Okay. Hopefully that maybe will stabilize what's going on. Sounds better. Okay, we've switched to the cable. So we have a cable and we have the Wi-Fi. We can switch between them. Hopefully being on the hard cable maybe will be better now. All right, maybe it's the Wi-Fi. Maybe the Wi-Fi in the house has been playing up. Since we had new electrical installed like a week or so ago, and then we had the hot water and all that happen. Maybe that's what happened. YouTube broke last February. I don't know about that. Okay, hopefully that fixed it. Hopefully we're back to normal. No more robot voice. No more robot voice. Okay. I want to show you. We talked about the Trump thing. I don't really want to keep going on about that. I want to talk to you about this. The Nahida Sultana Bristy thing. Check this out. So they're talking here. They're interviewing the family, the brother of her, and they're saying that she had been missing in the U.S. and has been killed family has been told that she is not alive, even though the press conference yesterday, when they did the press conference with Hillsborough PD, they said they weren't sure if she was alive or dead. But her family is saying that they have come and called them overseas and told them that she is not alive without a doubt that she is not alive. Now, one of the things I have heard, now this is a bit here that I want to talk to you about here, that her brother said that police informed him about the death after conducting a DNA test on body parts recovered from a residence. They told me the DNA matched my sister. However, it is still uncertain whether the full body will be recovered. So he dismembered her. He has cut her up. That is brutal. This guy decided to. I just don't get it. It was his roommate and her girlfriend and his girlfriend, and he's decided to not only kill his roommate, but then dismember his girlfriend and have her body parts strewn across the residence. I don't know why, like, you just go how, what, why, where, what would cause someone to flip out at that badly that you're then, I'm gonna cut her up and scatter her remains all through the property. It's yeah, Bangladeshi. Yes, yes, yes. From Bangladesh. Yes, that is correct. Um, so this information has been going around the UCF message boards overnight. So people who go to the university, they're very concerned. Everyone that goes to that uni is very concerned about what is going on. A lot of people are talking about it within, group chats and online and forums for the university. And they have been keeping on top of the information way better than the news has. And they're saying that basically it's body parts. Body parts have been recovered from her. Now, I have a map too that I'm going to put up. So, this is where he was taken into custody, right here. That is the final thing we know, that Hisham was taken into custody. We saw the video yesterday of him coming out in a towel. Zamil was last seen at his residence in Avondale Heights. They're not that far from each other. They're not that far away. About, what is it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about five blocks or so away from each other. And then Nahida Bristy was last seen at USF's Natural and Environmental Sciences building at the University of South Florida. Then so that we went sort of backwards. So it goes from the 16 to the 24. But early on the 24th, before they arrested him, or just after they took him into custody, both very early in the morning, they found on this bridge, they found Zamil's remains on that bridge. Human remains just on a bridge in Florida. They found some of her remains inside of that property, Nahida, but they don't know where the rest of her is. Now they sent divers into the water underneath that bridge where they found Zamil's body, hoping that maybe he dumped him off the bridge or on the bridge, and then maybe dumped her body parts off the bridge. Doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. They had divers in the water yesterday and they're saying they didn't find anything. So I don't know where the rest of her might be. I'm going to go to Hillsborough PD right now. I'm going to head off to the Hillsborough PD Facebook page. I just want to see if they put up an update for today. Um, no. No, but they did put out this after we got off the air yesterday. They did put out this here. So Hisham is facing these charges: murder in the first degree with a weapon premeditated times two. Now we know two murders. So both of them are now gone. Unlawfully hold or move a dead human body in unapproved conditions. Failure to report death to medical examiner or law enforcement, intent to conceal. Now, that charge is normally used when someone tries to. It can be applied to, say, like if your grandma dies and you don't call the coroner, and you're like, "Wow, we loved her so much, we didn't want her to be buried, tomorrow. So we kept her here for a few days." They can apply it to that, but normally what it's applied for is when someone does something like this, where they murder someone and they keep the remains, or they just delay the discovery of the death because they're trying to hide a crime. And they normally like to apply this one just to add that extra charge over the top. And then tampering with physical evidence, false imprisonment. That is an interesting one. And then battery. Battery on who? His family or one of the two that he murdered? That would be interesting. The false imprisonment, I wonder if these last two are about his family members, because they said in the property where they found him, there were family members there too, and they were released without harm, and then he came out. So I wonder if maybe they're trying to charge him, to help his family too. Brutal, really brutal guy. Why he decided to, all of a sudden hurt his roommates. I just don't get it. Don't get why he would do that. It's it's strange. It's really odd to me. Yeah, I'll take you back to that video. We all watched it last night, but I'll show it today anyway. So we saw this video where I'm guessing they told him to put on a towel, and they were like, "Hey, get out of the house. Don't bring a weapon with you." And then they got him to come he's so calm. He's not doesn't seem distressed, doesn't seem upset at all. He just sort of walks out of the house as if he's going to get the paper, and then they, take him into custody. He doesn't even look. "Bro, you gotta move the towel. You gotta move the towel. Ain't no one wanna see your peanuts and franks. Ain't no one wanna see it. Put it away, sir. Ain't no one wanna see. Ain't no one wanna see it. Bro, you gotta close those legs." Yeah, so strange. It'd be very interesting to know what else they found inside of this home. If it is true, like what the family is saying, that either in this property or the apartment that he shared as roommates, that they found body parts in there. Not a great outcome, is it? Not a great outcome. I just want to. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's strange. Like when we watched that press conference yesterday, they basically told us that they were unsure if she was alive or dead, but they had already rang the family and told them that she was dead. So I wonder why they worded it in that way to the reporters. Maybe it's because they hadn't had a chance to tell the family yet. It could be that they hadn't had a chance because her family is in Bangladesh, that they couldn't get in touch with them, and they wanted to talk to them first before they made it public. That could have been why. But yeah, if you go to this press conference here, he answers a question. He basically says, "We don't know if she's alive or dead." But then today, there's two murder charges upgraded, and the family has now been told that they found body parts and human remains that DNA confirmed to be her. all happening in about like 12 hours. All right, let me play this little bit from yesterday.
Sheriff Chronister's number one priority is to keep this community safe and to locate these two USF students. And working collectively with USF Police Department and Chief Daniel, we did that. We looked and we had every stone uncovered between his assets and ours. When I tell you I had hundreds of detectives and deputies and assets looking for Nahida and Zamil, that is the truth. Anywhere between my criminal investigations division, my special investigations division, aviation assets, marine assets, drone operators, and SWAT, and our crisis negotiation team, and our bomb team here today. This is still an active investigation, so you will have a lot of questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. But please understand, I will answer them as best as I can without jeopardizing the investigation we have thus far. I want to thank our partners. I want to thank again, Chief, thank you for all your help. The USF Police Department, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, the Clearwater Police Department. Everybody came together in this community, in this Bay Area, to try and find a safe resolution for Nahida and Zamil. Chief?
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. I want to restate the sorrow we feel for the families. President Moaz, Lamayam, the leadership staff at USF, the USF Police Department, we really assert safety on campus. We do everything
to Zamil. We are still actively searching for Nahida. And again, I implore the community, if you have any tips of where you've seen her or she's just recently seen, please report it to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office immediately so we can recover her to safety.
That is what he said yesterday, right? Then, roommate charged with 2 counts of murder in death and disappearance of 2 USF students, including Zamil and Nahida. So, what changed overnight? Did it take that long for them to process the crime scene? Like, is that what happened? Did they have to try and talk to her family first? Like, that is something they like to do. They like to make sure they talk to the loved ones and make sure they're the first ones to find out. Yeah, it is a bit odd that just after they took him into custody, they're like, no, we are still looking for her. Please contact us with any information. Colleen said, I was watching the White House coverage earlier. Flipping psycho world lately. I agree with you. It is a very psychotic world at the minute. It is a little psychotic. I agree with you. Let's have a look. So, Lemon's remains were found on the Howard Franklin Bridge Friday morning, but Bristy is still missing. That's what it says in this update. This is the update that came out with the 2 murder charges. So how can you charge someone with murder with no evidence of a crime? Then you hear, where's our little... Her brother said that police informed him about the death after conducting a DNA test on body parts recovered from a residence. They told me the DNA matched my sister. However, it's still uncertain whether the full body will be recovered. Sounds like the media in India know more than the media in Florida. Most of the good updates that I've been able to find have been through the media that are in India. Most of the media in Florida are not saying this type of thing. Go to the websites in India, translate it into English, and they all have this information about body parts being found in the home and that there was dismemberment, and they're not sure how many they've found. But Floridian News, this is all they found. This is the last update from NBC South Florida. They're saying nothing about body parts being found, just that the roommate was taken into custody, Hisham, and we saw it on the swap video. But nothing about any body parts or DNA testing, nothing like that. So interesting that the Indian media seems to know everything right now. It is strange. And I get it. The family is over there. Maybe the media in the country is very interested in two of their own who died after leaving the country and going to America to go to school. So I get it. But just strange that you know the media in Florida don't seem to be taking the same thing. Bless me. I have to. Is my throat getting dry again? It could be. RX Girl said the kid. Ugh, a kid saw what? An alligator. His name sounded like a sneeze. No, I'm still dealing with this cold. So I thought you were talking about me. I'm still dealing with this sort of like seasonal cold. Let's have a look. Wait, I want to look at the alligator in a minute, but not yet. Did it happen in Florida? Most likely. An alligator with body parts in its mouth? Most likely it's Florida. Most likely. Where else would it be? Where else would it be? New York? You're like, yeah, that happens all the time. See alligators in New York with body parts. Most likely Florida. It could be Georgia, but I'm more likely it's going to be Florida. Yeah. What? A kid fishing saw an alligator with a body part bone in its mouth. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense in Florida. We'll look it up in a minute. I lost him for 10 seconds too. Really? Okay. All right. They saying it's her. It's just down the road from the house. All right. Let me have a look. I mean, I would not. I would not be surprised. No. I'm trying to verify this somehow. I didn't see who's reporting this. I don't see it anywhere. I mean, not saying it didn't happen. There's always someone reporting something. Here, let me try a different wording. Let me try this. Nope. It's not coming up for me. Wait, what was the source for it? Yeah, I went for a drink. Let's see. This is YouTube thought I'm working. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Someone was on live. I don't know. I take everything. Yeah, I don't see anyone reporting that right now. You would have thought if there was a alligator with a body part in its mouth that all the freaking local news in Florida in this region would have just been going, considering the big double murder, they would have been going off the effing wall. They would have had live cameras. They would have sent someone down there. There would have been, yeah, I can't find it either. Kathy said alligator, and I'm not saying it's not true. Maybe it is. Maybe a local You know, sometimes this happens with localized crimes. Sometimes a local will go on live, like, you know, like Instagram or something, and they see something local like police or police tape. They hear, oh, it's because they're here for this. It happens sometimes where you don't get it. Hmm. Maybe it was a doll. I mean, I wouldn't put it past this guy. Apparently, there were body parts on top of that bridge. Let me have a look. What's the area? What's the suburb? We know it's Hillsborough, but that's not the correct. That's just a county. What's the suburb that we're looking for? Like Lake Forest, I think would be. That's near Hisham's like area. Lake Forest. All right, Lake Forest. Okay. I I don't see it. I don't see it, unfortunately, which is, you know, you'd think WFLA, one of those type of news channels would have probably been there. I'm just gonna check WFLA on their website because if they said if there was something happening, I feel like they would have gone. Human remains found on Howard Franklin Bridge ID'd as missing person. Yep, we know that. This was the one from yesterday. I'll show it to you.
On scene here, this was a SWAT situation. SWAT and also other authorities are
split screen
to the active and ongoing nature of this. We're studying
of just the singular missing USF team roommates is going to be from the SWAT scene. That these two were close. They are.
See, JB had it, and there was like a giant stuff there. Tampa? I saw coverage from a local YouTuber I watched. WFLA was covering it. The divers had to stop tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. I know they were diving yesterday. They had video of it. They had video of them diving. Here, I'll show you. There was divers underneath the bridge yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if they're back out there tomorrow, like today and tomorrow. Yeah. So there were definitely divers out in the water. Yeah, let me check JB's Twitter. Let me see if let's check. Yeah. Let me see if JB's had anything today on it. Because if there is, he'll have it. He has not done an update except for when Hisham was taken into custody. So I don't know. If anyone finds it, send it to me sundaywithping@gmail.com. I got no idea. Yeah, RX, just email it to me. I'll check it out and I'll verify it before we air it to anyone. I'll have a look at it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Colleen said those divers are amazing, so brave and mad respect, especially if you're going into the water to try and find body parts. Like, could you imagine if that's your job? You have to dive into a water. There's already a ton of hazards in the water. And then you have to fish around, pun included, and find human remains. I don't think anyone is like jealous of the work they do. I mean, I think they're proud of the work they do. I don't think anyone is like beating down the door to do their job. They do a very good job. It is brutal work. I can't imagine having to, sometimes they don't even get, in the video we're watching right now, look how beautiful the water is. It's right under that Franklin Bridge. Beautiful, clean water. Sometimes they have to go into like those murky swamp areas in Florida where there are alligators and, lily pond and awful. Like, could you imagine diving? You're in a police dive squad and they're like, hey, we have a pond that we need to check for human remains. Could you imagine that? That you're like, not again, boss, really? And they're like, yeah, we need you to search this murky ass water to see if there's any body parts in there. Ugh. I don't think that's a fun thing to do. Kim said the Gulf doesn't have alligators. Because they're not salt water? Because alligators only live in fresh water? See, that's weird. In Australia, crocodiles can go in the salt water. Crocodiles can go in the ocean and they can go in the rivers. So you're screwed. You ain't safe anywhere in Australia from the crocodiles. That they can go in this water and they can go in the other ones. So what? Sean said on April 21st, 2026, a crew of the Sapphire Princess cruise ship discovered 5 bodies floating in the Mediterranean Sea. I don't think that's that abnormal, especially in that area. They have a really bad migrant situation where people, as Sean, as you would know, living in Australia, people make these like makeshift rafts and they try and get to other countries. That is probably what I would suggest is probably what happened with that. Let's have a look. Gutters and swimming pools. Well, when it floods, when we get flooding down here, yeah, the alligators go everywhere. I mean, the crocodiles, they go everywhere. Kim said, I've not heard of it, otherwise I would not swim in the Gulf. All right, let's look it up. I think it's trivia time. Can alligators go into the Gulf? Let's all discover something. Oh, that's interesting. Seems your information about alligators is incorrect. I'm about to blow your mind, and you're never going to swim in the Gulf ever again. Here we go.
Take a look at this video out of Fort Myers Beach. What was meant to be a normal day at the beach turned into a crazy experience for many people out there. Gulf Coast News reporter Natasha Casal was on the beach today, hearing from people who saw it all going down.
Visitors expect sunshine and clear blue water at Fort Myers Beach, but one family found something unexpected instead.
I seen everybody looking on the beach, and I'm like, well, I better go investigate. And I came down here, and sure enough, it was a gator. And we're from Iowa, so we never, ever see anything like this. And it's just unreal.
Justin Betts was looking over their balcony with his binoculars with his family and friends Saturday. He went downstairs to get a closer look and saw a shocking sight of a gator swimming near the sand on Fort Myers Beach. In this video, you can see the gator's head bobbing in the water as the waves crash.
It's pretty crazy, and it was just floating and getting tucked underneath the water, but it was cool.
Ursula Pfeiffer also saw the gator. She's been visiting Fort Myers Beach for over 30 years and has never seen one before.
I saw a lot of animals, beautiful animals, birds and fish and dolphins. But in the end, we ended up seeing an alligator quite close to the beach.
It may be a rare sighting for visitors, but seeing an alligator in the Gulf isn't that uncommon. FWC says if you see a gator, you should keep your distance. While gators live mainly in fresh water, they can swim in the Gulf and are often spotted in nearby areas like Lover.
Bang! Disinformation, misinformation cancelled. Gators can go into the Gulf. Kim, we have to throw it back to you. Are you ever going to swim in the Gulf ever again? There you go. Alligator in the salt water. So he can go in the salt water. There you go. Look at him. Look how happy he is. He's like, bro, I'm just on holiday down here for spring break. I'm just down here trying to get some women. I'm trying to get some women, and I'm trying to get some drinks. I'm trying to get to that swim up bar. Trying to get to that swim up bar, get a few drinks, find some lady alligators, trying to have a good time. Oh, it's funny. So yeah, I don't look. I don't know in this particular case, but apparently, in this particular case, big alligator swimming in the surf. Yeah, he does look happy. He's like, I'm just sitting here. Gail said we've watched something before with them in the sea on here. Probably we've looked up alligators before. Sean said I thought only sharks went to spring break. That's a different type of animal. Let's see. Kim said last year we had jellyfish. You ain't never getting back in the water, are you? You ain't never getting back in. You ain't never getting back in the waters. So look, I don't think it was at least anything I can see. Here, hold on actually. Yeah, I don't see anything. I'm just trying to have a quick like look through YouTube, just seeing if anything like was there anything there. The only person I know that was in Florida today might have been Nerdy. Wasn't Nerdy in Florida today? I could have sworn I thought that Nerdy Attic was down in Florida today. Could have sworn that I saw a thing saying they had headed down into Florida. All right, let's keep going. Look, I don't have anything on that. If we see it, we'll talk about it. But right now, the fact that he chopped her up, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to dump her into a waterway. If you are a killer and you dismember someone, like where is the first thing that you would think of to get rid of human remains in Florida? Well, a bin of some sort, a rubbish bin would be probably one. Depending if it's close to bin day or not. If it's close to bin day, you use an industrial bin because ain't no one going to find it in time before it gets picked up by a truck. That's how you dispose of a body in anywhere. You can just do that. The second is a waterway that you know has alligators. It's a common thing. Everyone has watched Dexter. I mean, it's an old Florida wives' tale that gangsters would do this, dating back decades and decades and decades and decades. So Nerdy lives very. I wouldn't be surprised. I saw something about Nerdy being in Florida or going to this or something earlier today. Kim says I have not watched Dexter. I am not a big fan of drama crime. I like true crime. I like documentaries about true crime. I don't like things that are made up because it doesn't appeal to me very much. I want to know about the people behind it. I want to know the story. I want to know why it happened. I want to know, and anything like that. When you tell me a fake story that someone has written, I don't really care. I have no attachment to any of the victims or the perpetrators or the area or things like that. So I don't really get it. But when I had the flu like a year ago, I had a weird day. See, I had to be sick and have the flu, and I didn't want to watch any documentaries. So I started watching the new season of Dexter, Original Sin, the one that came out that was about the 80s, and I thought it was really good. Then they did the new one that came out in August, September. I can't remember what it was called. Dexter. Can't remember which one that one. New Blood. I don't remember. Resurrection. It might have been Resurrection. And I watched it, and it was brilliant. Very good, very easy to get hooked on. And then I went back and I watched the original season or the original run. And look, it's pretty good. And for someone that loves true crime, there's a lot of there's like a lot of like true crime tropes within the show. There's a lot of things that we all know within true crime that they sort of do within the show, and it's quite funny. It's almost very camp if you like true crime. Alex Girl said, "Me too. I don't watch any of these shows." Dexter's pretty good though. I will watch the new one when it comes out this year. Gail said, "Never seen Dexter, but I do enjoy things like NCIS." Did you watch the documentary I told you about? There's a Here, I'll bring it up while we're talking about documentaries. Homicide, New York. There's a Netflix one, and it is made by the same people, Dick Wolf from Law and Order. They did a real life Law and Order, and it's called Homicide New York. There's another one, Homicide LA, and then there's a third season, which is Homicide New York again. So they've done 2 Homicide New Yorks and 1 Homicide LA. If you like Law and Order, you should go and watch the it's called the Homicide New York one. It's pretty good. I mean, I like New York stories about. There you go. There's the banner for it. So if you can find it, if you like NCIS, maybe you will like this. It's made by the same people. Rachel said, "I liked it too, and I usually only watch docuseries." Yeah, Dexter's the only one I've ever watched that is a drama, and I only watched it last year. Kim said, "I watched Chicago PD since the beginning." I've never watched Chicago PD in my life. Kelly said, "Never seen Dexter, but used to love CSI Vegas and Sherlock Castle, etc." Never watched any of those. I mean, I've seen CSI on the TV or whatever because they show it on every channel around the world every single day of the year. You can turn on any TV in any world. Any world? Yes, in any world. No, in any country around the world, you can turn on a TV, just flip channels, and I guarantee you will run into an episode of CSI, Law and Order, something like that. You will just run into one of them. So they are literally broadcast every single day in syndication, like around the world. So yeah, not surprising that you can run into it. All right, let's keep going. I want to keep going. We've got more stories to talk about. Anyway, that is your update for Nahida Bristy. Don't know why I keep throwing an L in there. And Zamil Limon. It's a very sad story. We don't know very much about it though. Like, why did this Hisham guy want to do that to his roommate? 2 people who apparently, according to their family, loved each other. They were young, but they were thinking about getting married. You know, he basically ended their lives and stopped their story right there. And now he's in jail. For what reason? You just go for like, what could have triggered all of this? And I don't know if we're ever going to find out. I really don't. I don't know if he's talked to the authorities. I don't know if he's given them an interview. But according to the update I have here, he made an initial court appearance today in Tampa where he was ordered to be held without a bond. He now has another case hearing on April 28th, which is Tuesday. So on Tuesday, he has a case update, and maybe we'll find out more then. But his initial hearing was just an arraignment, so he's just coming in saying that he's going to be held on these charges and that he will not get a bond. He's going to be held without bond for now. He can try to go to a different court and seek leave to apply for a bond, but he's not going to get it. Not on a double murder charge. He's not going to get it. So investigators said this on Saturday. This is a deeply disturbing case that has shaken our community, affected many who are hoping for a safe resolution. While the discovery of Zamil's remains is heartbreaking, I want the public to know that our detectives worked and are working tirelessly and relentlessly to uncover the truth. So that's what they had to say today. They're still working to uncover the truth. All right, there we go. Mrs. Ping is here. Say hi, Mrs. Ping.
Hello.
That was very energetic.
It's Sunday.
Do you have anything to say about this case?
You love throwing me under the bus.
Yeah. Anything?
It's a terrible case.
Good work. Anything else?
What do you want me to say?
Do you have anything else to add, though? You've been listening to it. Actually, come here for a second. No, it's all right. Just step right here. The other day, Kathy Lynch gave you some money for the chocolate, and you got the chocolate.
Yes.
You got the two.
Which one? Both.
Yes.
Yes.
So you got both of them instead of undecided on.
It was hard to choose.
So you got both.
Yes.
Which one did you like better?
Oh, gee. Okay. Probably the white chocolate one with the strawberry Nesquik.
The one with the Nesquik? Yeah, give me the Nesquik one because I don't think they have it in America. I ate the other one.
Yeah, it's all gone.
It's all gone. It disappeared. I ate it. Was pretty good. There's this one. They do like a if you like Nesquik, in America, they do like Nesquik. They do a milky bar, which is like a whitish milky chocolate with strawberry Nesquik in it. So if you're like a Nesquik fan, you can get these in Australia. So there you go. All right.
Did I have the yellow one?
No.
Well, thank you for the money. So we could try both of these.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. You got a thank you out of her. That's a rare occurrence. It's a rare occurrence. Let's see. Just in time for the food segment? No. I'm doing it for Kathy because Kathy gave her $10 to get both of the chocolate bars. So I thought while she's here for once, I would get her to talk about it for a second. She's going out. She's leaving. So she's off to go to like a shopping center for a minute. Colleen said, "Oh, that's something else." Hey, Thavi. I hope your husband's doing well. Hope you're doing well. Marilyn said, Hershey, PA has chocolate streets for real. What? No, I don't. Colleen says, I love Nesquik. Yeah, so you can get a Nesquik chocolate bar in Australia. Yeah, she's going to have some fun. Colleen said, I like the chocolate though. Yeah, evening, Thavi. Good to see you. All right, let's continue. We got more true crime to talk about. Okay, so we know that what we found out, Limon and Bristy are both dead. They're both dead. The family has confirmed that they have been told by law enforcement that their daughter is dead. They don't quite know where her entire body is, but at least they have found some body parts that they have DNA tested to her and have confirmed that is her remains. What body parts did they find? How many of them? How much of them? We don't know. It could have been like they found a finger and they're like, yeah, it's hers. It could have been a 40 other things like of the human body. We just don't know. Could have been blood. It could have been something like that. They could have found a large amount of blood and tissue. And then when they tested it, they're like, yeah, it's a human and it is her. But they haven't found like her skeletal remains or something like that. It could have, there's a bunch of different things we could go down. But so far, they are still searching for the majority of her remains. They have not located it. Let's see here. So he's in jail. He'll be back in court on the 28th for, I can't work out if it's an arraignment or it's just a case update. Today is, I have a funny feeling Tuesday is actually an arraignment. And today was just like a first court appearance because he got taken in on a weekend and it was, it was basically on a Friday afternoon or whatever it was. What, Friday, Saturday? What day is it today? Today's Saturday. So yesterday was Friday. Yeah, it's supposed to be within the first 3 days of being arrested. So first 3 days of being arrested and charged with a crime, you're supposed to appear in court for an arraignment. So he hasn't done that because he's not pleaded. He's not pleaded to anything. So I'm guessing just the first court appearance today was basically to keep him in custody, probably until Tuesday when they can have that bigger court appearance. We'll see what happens on Tuesday. That's what I'm expecting to happen. And I'm guessing that's most likely what is going to happen. Let me check if that document's come out yet. There's supposed to have been a document uploaded about his arrest. Let me have a look. We might not get it until Monday, until late on Tuesday. We may not get it until then. What is this? Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, yes. I'm very interested in having a look at this if we can get to it. Okay. Inmate name 2 okay. I think I have his 13796 maybe? Booking name inmate. Okay, I have his inmate number for the county sheriff. I'll just see if I search it, do we get his court document? It does look like the right case file. It's not showing up to me, unfortunately. When we switch to the other cable, it doesn't have that DNS on it. So it cancels out some of the search results because I'm Australian. So I will have to check it another time, but I cannot see it. I'm sure it's around. I just don't have it. All right. I'll have to find it another time for you guys. Sorry. Chipmunk said, sorry, honey, we can't walk down the chocolate street. That's pretty funny. Thavi, I hope you guys are doing well. All right, let's continue. I will search for that. I think Plunder had it today. I saw something on there. I see it, but I can't access it. Like when I click on it, it just tells me that I can't connect to the site, and it's because they block international connections, which is a pain in the effing ass. And it's basically the state. the court case is as you would think it would be. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat in case people want to look for it themselves. It is the state of Florida. There you go. And then the case file is pretty sure it's this one. I'm going to put it in the chat in case people want to have a look. Why would it reject that? For what reason? Okay. It didn't like the dash in it. It didn't like the dash in it. But after 2026 in this number, just put a dash in there and then you can do it like that. Wait, who's sending me what? You don't have to send me anything. I'm good. All right. All right, let's keep going. We've got more cases to talk about. Let's go PR. Let's get out of this one. And let's continue for your Saturday night. By the way, if you're a 49ers fan, you may be wondering right now, what exactly are the 49ers doing? Because I think that's a question that everyone has. Everyone has the same question. What the F are the 49ers doing? They basically had the worst draft that you could ever imagine. So if you are a 49ers fan, you are just head spinning on why they decided to basically draft every random player that you've never heard of in your life ever for the team. They went against every consensus pick ever. All right, what else are we going to talk about? I got one more update. You know, it's really sad that we have not had any more updates out of Arizona. It's basically gone cold. The missing woman, the missing mom in Arizona, basically gone cold. It's one of the most stupid things I've it's ridiculous. It really is. All right, we're going to go to California because why not? Because California is always the best and it's always fun. So I'm going to take you out to there. We have a case out in California. By the way, they had a cool marathon out there today, which was great. So you guys may have heard about this big burglary spree in the San Fernando Valley. Have you guys heard about this in California? In California, apparently if you live in the valley, people's homes are just getting broken into like every day. Every day there's always some new break and enter going on in the valley. But before then, I want to go to Baldwin Park, and there was a really awful crime. It was about a day ago, but we didn't get to talk about it. So here, watch this, and then I'll give you some more information on it. It's awful.
We are following developing news in Baldwin Park. 3 people were shot and killed this morning. The victims include a husband and wife and a third man who police say may have been the shooter. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 4. I'm Samantha Cortese.
And I'm John Finolio. People who live in the area say they are shocked that this deadly shooting happened in their usually quiet neighborhood.
KTLA's Chris Wolf is live in Baldwin Park with the latest on this investigation. Hi, Chris.
That's right. Good afternoon, John and Sam. We are still waiting for confirmation from authorities, but from all the information we have been able to gather, this appears to be a double murder suicide involving family members. Neighbors tell us the victims recently moved into a home here along Millbury Avenue in Baldwin Park. And as you can see behind me, a large area has been taped off for this investigation, ongoing now for about 12 hours.
Gunfire rang out around 5 a.m. Friday in Baldwin Park, sending shockwaves through the neighborhood and leaving a trail of blood in the streets. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department is assisting Baldwin Park police in the shooting investigation. Authorities say 3 people are involved, an 80-year-old man and his 56-year-old wife, and also another man who appears to be in his 60s. 2 were pronounced dead at the scene. A third person later died at the hospital.
That doesn't happen often, so I was really surprised, really shocked, made sure my dad was okay, and I just went ahead and of course we prayed, and then I just went ahead and said, don't worry, the community is safe. If you see the police outside, you're good.
Law enforcement officials tell KTLA they do not believe there is an outstanding suspect or killer on the run. In fact, they say the individual in his 60s may have been the gunman.
We're hearing rumors that this was that our unidentified male may be our suspect, but we still obviously need to canvass the neighborhood to look for video and continue our investigation to determine that fact. From the Baldwin Park Police Department, there's been no calls for service regarding any kind of domestic or family-related issues to that location.
Neighbors tell us a young woman related to the older married couple who arrived at the gruesome scene Friday morning claims another family member was the shooter. The motive is unclear.
Brutal. Imagine waking up to that in your neighborhood on a Friday morning, and it is just horrific. When I saw this in the news this morning, I was like, what? Why? You can see they put the tarp up here, and it's based on this car, and obviously a lot of blood everywhere. They've washed it down a bit, that's why it's wet a bit, but they've obviously done their forensics. But terrible. From what I can read here about it, it was a husband and wife who were killed Friday morning in a triple shooting, and they say they're investigating the incident as a possible murder S-word. According to the LA County Sheriff's Department, the victims were an 80-year-old man and his 56-year-old wife. The 80-year-old died at the hospital while his wife died at the scene. Meanwhile, the third victim was identified only as a man aged between 60 and 70, also died at the scene. It's unclear how the victims are connected. They're also saying that they don't have any witnesses that saw what occurred. In that neighborhood with so many people, no one saw or heard anything, with it being so open and outside, like in this particular crime scene right here. No one on a Friday morning. No, it can't be a son. The age is too close. The son would have had to have been born when the dad was 10. It doesn't make any sense. Lover, it's got to be something like that. Or they saying another family member. But what that means? What does that mean? Someone wrote this. What does this mean in Spanish? Okay. Yeah, a lot of people saying lover. So they're saying the third person is a lover. Yeah, so husband and wife with the lover of one of them. Interesting. Why and how does that work? I don't think we really know. I'm trying to see if there's any other details surrounding it, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like right now they're still investigating it, but 3 people. A bit of a strange one. Normally we don't hear about that. Normally it's done differently. But yeah, 56-year-old woman, an 80-year-old man, and then another man aged between 60 and 70 also found dead at the scene. So is it the wife's lover? Is that who it is? The wife's amore? Is that who it is? The wife was having an affair or something? And he has come to kill his lover and her husband. I wonder if that is what it is. Apparently, they discovered a revolver near the body of an unidentified man, leading authorities to suspect he may have been the shooter before he, became dead. There are no outstanding suspects and no threat to the public exists. Strange one, really, really odd one that you got these people. Love triangle? Maybe. Yeah, I wonder if it is. I wonder if the wife was having an affair, broke off the affair, and then that guy has come to, out of anger, has come to kill him. That would be my theory if I was looking at it. I think that makes the most. I think that makes the most sense. At least I think so. Yeah, I got another video we can watch from ABC7. Maybe it's got a bit more info.
Sheriff's detectives are also simply trying to figure out a motive.
Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia joins us live from the neighborhood with new reaction and new details just into the newsroom. Sid?
This happened early this morning before the sunrise, and LA County Sheriff's Department homicide investigators have taken over this case. And as you mentioned, they are still trying to sort things out here. Now, Baldwin Park police got the call just before 5 this morning of shots fired here on Millbury Avenue, just off of Merced Avenue. The victims are an 80-year-old man and his 56-year-old wife who live at the home. The third victim, who investigators are working on identifying, is between 60 to 70 years old. The LA County Sheriff's robbery homicide detectives are now leading the case. One of the possibilities you're looking at is whether this was a murder-suicide. The two bodies here, the wife and the person detectives haven't identified. The 80-year-old man died at the hospital. We had a chance to talk to some neighbors who told us they heard the shots this morning. One of them told me this Baldwin Park neighborhood is normally very quiet. Sheriff's detectives are still trying to sort out what it led up to this morning's deadly shooting.
Unfortunately, we don't have any witnesses that actually saw what occurred. So all we can tell you is we have 3 deceased individuals. 2 of them are a married couple. Obviously, we're in the early stages of the investigation. We're hearing rumors that this was that our unidentified male may be our suspect, but we still obviously need to canvass the neighborhood to look for video and continue our investigation to determine that fact.
I live across the street, and around 4 something, I heard there was shooting, but I don't know who was it or nothing, but I just got scared, and I saw all this police and helicopters around the house.
Wait, what time did she say? Did she say 4 a.m.?
I saw all this police, but I don't know who was it or nothing, but I just got scared, and I saw. I live across the street, and around 4 something, I heard there was shooting.
4 a.m. in the morning? Is that what they're saying? Or 4 p.m. in the afternoon? They said it happened in the morning, right? Yeah, early Friday morning. So 4 a.m. in the morning, how and why would someone be outside at 4 a.m. in the morning on a Friday? Yeah, that's weird. There's more here. There's definitely more here. Gail said he was probably okay for dollars. Yeah. 5 a.m. Well, she's saying 4. About 4 a.m. So maybe an hour before authorities were called. Maybe. Let's have a look. Weird. Very strange situation. No new updates, unfortunately. They're basically just holding it right now and trying to figure out what the hell happened. But yeah, they're just saying. Apparently, in November of 2025, there was another incident that was very similar to this that happened. And here's the headline for it. Man shoots estranged wife's family in Baldwin Park in apparent murder S-word. This was about 5 months ago. 2 adults were killed and a 10-year-old girl was critically injured. And Kwao Jin, 35, was found dead in Anaheim from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after the event. And the victim was Wulan Wang, 61, and her husband, Kwai Fu Jiang, 61. And they were pronounced deceased inside the home. Very similar outlook to the one we just read. A outside person came and killed the husband and wife. This is a bit creepy that a few months ago there was another one that almost played out the exact same way in the same area. Wait, what road? And look at this. Just before 5 a.m. Almost exactly the same. Just before 5 a.m. in the morning. Same as the one that just happened. What is going on in Baldwin Park where apparently there's a ton of these type of events? That must be outside the national average to have within 5 months 2 almost identical murder S word, but it's not. It's a murder S word. That's pretty weird. I don't understand why they and it's the same timing, about 5 a.m. in the morning. It's a woman and her husband. An outside person came and killed them, most likely a male. No, it's known to them. Known to them. The outside person was known to them. This was a estranged wife's family. A man is accused of opening fire inside the home of his estranged wife's family. There you go. I find that really weird that in just a few months there's been a few of them. Here, I got a photo of these people if you want. Is that them? That can't be them. Yeah, it's not them. That was a photo of someone else. There you go. At least another crime a few months ago with the same circumstances. That's pretty weird. All 3 dead in that one too. All 3 dead. So the shooter and the husband and wife dead. Same as the one that just happened. So parents-in-law? Oh, it could be. Doesn't it say husband and wife? Oh, it says man shoots estranged wife's family. Whatever that means. And yeah, here. Wulan Wang and her husband, Kwai Fu Jiang, 61. So it was a husband and wife. And they were killed. And then the shooter killed themselves. And the shooter was 35. So yeah, maybe his wife's parents. Yeah, in-laws. Yeah, you're right. That's what it sounds like. I wonder if this one is a bit different though. All of the people are the same age. All of the people are the same age around, except for one of them, but they're all in their 60s to 80s. Huh. Apparently everyone, if you live in the valley, they had 4 tornadoes today in a 5-hour period in California's Central Valley. That's pretty cool. Look at that, a little tiny one. Apparently the last time they had 5 tornadoes in one day was in the year 2000. So that's I didn't know about that, but there you go. A little bit of a wall cloud there. So if you're in the valley, maybe you had a very blustery day. 5 tornadoes in one day for California. There you go. Never thought I'd see that before. But yeah, Baldwin Park investigating. Oh, I scared myself for a second. I was like, oh my God, it was on the same street as the one we're reading today. No, it wasn't. It was on a completely different street. Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, they're connected. They've come for the I'm going to take you to a press conference. Apparently, we've got a press conference out of America about the DC police, the FBI, and Secret Service.
provide you an update on the incident that took place tonight at 8:36 p.m. at the Washington Hilton at the site of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. At about that time, a sole gunman rushed a Secret Service checkpoint in a lobby at the hotel. Secret Service agents stopped the suspect. An agent was injured and transported to a local hospital where the agent is receiving care. The suspect is also transported to a local hospital where he is being evaluated. The president returned safely to the White House, as you know. We are so very thankful to members of law enforcement who did their jobs tonight and made sure that all guests were safe. We have no reason to believe at this time that anyone else was involved. I want to turn to the Chief of the Metropolitan Police Department, Chief Carroll, to provide a law enforcement update and specifics.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, I'm Jeff Carroll, Interim Chief of Police for the Metropolitan Police Department. This afternoon, this evening, members of the United States Secret Service and the Metropolitan Police Department were here at the Washington Hotel for a site detail for the Correspondents' Center. As the mayor mentioned, at approximately 8:36 tonight, an individual charged a U.S. Secret Service checkpoint here in the lobby area of the hotel. He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual. This is a very preliminary investigation at this point. We do know that law enforcement exchanged gunfire with the individual. We do know that a U.S. Secret Service Uniform Division officer was struck in his vest. He was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He seems to be in good spirits at this time. The suspect in this case, he was not struck by gunfire. However, he was transported to a local hospital to be evaluated. Again, we're very early in the investigation. We have members of the United States Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police Department, and the FBI here to continue to investigate this matter. But at this point, it does appear he is a lone actor, a lone gunman. There does not appear to be any sort of danger to the public at this time. However, we are continuing to investigate this matter. At this point, I will turn it over to, I believe, the FBI.
Hi, good evening. I'm Darren Cox, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Washington Field Office. The American public should be proud of the quick response and heroic actions from law enforcement officers tonight to keep the American public safe. Their actions are absolutely heroic. The public should also rest assured that there will be no stone unturned during this investigation. The FBI currently has our Joint Terrorism Task Force here on scene, along with our Criminal Division, our Crisis Response Team, and agents from across the country are working on any leads that may come in this investigation. Anyone with tips in this investigation should call 1-800-CALL-FBI.
They did a very good job to neutralize the threat as quickly as they did. Like, we saw that video and that guy just like Naruto'd it all through security and just went mental. He's very lucky they just didn't shoot him. I'm serious. You try and rush a security checkpoint like that again, and after what has happened over the last year or two, I would be shocked if you came out alive. Like, really, I would be shocked. The fact he had multiple guns and multiple knives on him. Brutal. There we go. So we saw that video. Very blurry, but we sort of get it. I mean, it's a hell of a situation to be in, right? Yeah, is that the guy he shot? When you look at it, the guy that's in the middle of the screen right here, it looks like he gets shot in the leg. Or somewhere, because he really jumps back. Almost like as he was coming, he fired at him. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like he shot him. Well done for that Secret Service to continue after being shot, and he assumed his normal position and continued his duties. Well done. That's really good training. The fact that he was like, okay, I've been shot, but I got a job to do. That is very heroic, like they said. He fired right back. Yeah. Colleen said he'll spend the rest of his life in prison. Yeah, I don't understand what they're trying to achieve. You're just going to get owned by the Secret Service. They will own your ass. They are like some of the toughest. Like you think cops are hard to deal with? The Secret Service will absolutely own you. They are like, what are they? The 1% of like CIA and those type of agencies. It's like you have to be in the 1% to get invited to the Secret Service. It's they're the best of the best. Sean said they weren't expecting the unexpected. Wow, they probably weren't expecting someone to Naruto their way through security on a very quiet correspondence dinner, which is normally one of the most boring nights in Washington. I'm sorry, but I'm part of the media, and I think it's one of the most boring nights in Washington. It is. It's just one of their events that they have. So, Chipmunk said, "Where did he get stopped after another set of agents later on? They got him a little bit further down. I got a photo I can show you. Where is it? Where's my photos? Over here. There's another video at the top of a set of stairs where they got him. He must have been trying to get to the ballroom, is what I'm guessing. Here. So they got him on the ground. Yeah, I'm not going to play it all, otherwise someone's going to get upset. But there he is in the center there with that, emergency blanket on him. So they got him up there. And as you see, he was basically surrounded. He almost looks like he's been knocked out. Like his eyes aren't open. He's not like looking alive or anything. Rachel said, CC are great. My friend works out of DC. SS, you mean, not CC. Colleen said he never got close. Nah, he was still like a couple of rooms away. Kim said, I think someone will get chewed out for the bad video quality. I got to ask, is that the quality of their cameras in that building? That crazy like 1980s camera? Like, what is with that? I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Look, here's a screenshot of it. And this comes from Donald Trump's Truth Social. Like, what is this? It looks like I'm playing a Game Boy from 1990. What is it? What is it? It's bizarre. I know that it looks like someone is filming a monitor, but then why is it so blurry? I'm sure this particular video that's being filmed from a monitor will eventually come out in full. But why is this particular one so bad? Was he nude? I had that thought before about the emergency blanket. I was like, maybe he's naked. Let me have a look. I don't know. Maybe either that or maybe they took his clothes off to try and find if he had it. They might have taken his clothes off. Sometimes they will do that if you've got a ton of weapons on you. They will just take your clothes off because they want it, one, as evidence, two, to make sure they've got all the weapons. So they may have actually taken his clothes off of him to try and, because in the film clip it's real. Maybe that is why it's blurred, is because he's naked. Actually, look at this. Look, here is him. I know it's hard to see in this blurry ass video, but those look like naked legs. They don't look like legs that are wearing pants. That is a very white, pasty leg. that is a very chicken colored man. No, but look, his leg almost looks you think he's wearing dark colored clothing? That almost looks like a naked leg. Let's see if we can. Did they release the actual CCTV? Did they give a better version? Let's have a look. I don't have a better version of it. I'm just trying to see if there is a better version.
It looked like he checked it twice. Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this area? Very cool, so. Obviously. So 40 just moved by. It looked like he checked it twice. Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this area? Very cool, so. Obviously.
Okay, it looks better in this version. It looks like he is wearing dark clothing. The other one looked like he had no clothes on the bottom half. It's just such shit quality.
Shall I post it as soon as? Lieutenant Hudson, you monitoring this area? Very cool, so. Obviously.
Okay, maybe they stripped him down to get rid of the threat of the weapons or whatever. C-SPAN has a better. Okay, let's go to C-SPAN. C-SPAN. Of course, it's C-SPAN, the world's most boring channel. Of course, it's them. It's always them. It's always C-SPAN. All right, do they have a better quality? Let's see. No, they just have the one from the Donald Trump. The same one that we're looking at, I think. Unless I can see a different C-SPAN. Let's have a look. Do they have a different website? I can have a look at their website. I looked at their YouTube. The one that they have on their YouTube is just the one from that we've been watching. It doesn't look like a better one or anything. See, this is the one from C-SPAN right here. They're just streaming it from the Truth Social. It's the same one that we're all watching. So we may have to wait. On earlier on C-SPAN? Why are they giving out these crappy ones then? All right, let's have a look. Maybe it's on the White House Correspondents' Associate Dinner. They have a live stream that was up. And then they had that press conference. All right, let's have a look. All right, I am just gonna skim through it just briefly. There's Donald Trump. Let me see if I can take you guys to a better quality. It doesn't look like it to me. Checking their live stream at the moment. All right, I'll check one more place. Because I want to see it too. And it's, you know, it's late at night. Who's messaging me? What? Yeah. Yeah, guys, give me a sec. I have to do something. Just hold on. It's sort of an emergency. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Something. Apparently, there is a bunch of tornado warnings in Texas tonight. There's a bunch of like stuff going off, alerts and things like that. And someone was asking me like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Can you see anything?" And I was like, there was a tornado in Springtown earlier. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know where this particular town is. Hold on, I'm just trying to find this for the person who's asking. I think it's way out. Sorry, guys. I know you're listening. You're like, what the hell are you talking about, Ping? Just hold on. It's on the west side. Um, all right. We should be all right. I think everything's all right. I don't think there's anything too crazy going on right now in Texas, is there? Yeah. I don't think there's anything crazy going on. Let me check the radar. Someone's a little concerned. Hold on. Abilene. Oh, whoa. Holy crap. That's why the person's messaging me. That is why. Yeah, okay. So it's now. It's Yeah, it looks like there's a massive storm cell crossing Dallas and Dallas Fort Worth right now. Um, I don't know if there's any tornado warnings out. I know that there was a town over here earlier today, just where this storm passed through, just over here near Azle. There's a town that got hit. There was a tornado. This storm put down a tornado about an hour ago. So if you're in Dallas right now, Dallas, Fort Worth, you should exercise your tornado precautions for a nighttime tornado because that storm looks rough. That storm's got looks like a hell of a hail core on it, and I can't see any rotation on it. But it's looking like a pretty nasty storm. It's slow moving too. So yeah, it's gonna go up and then through there. Okay. So yeah, if you're in this area, if you're in Dallas or Fort Worth right now, apparently Fort Worth is getting hit right now. So whew. Oh, if um hold on guys, sorry. All right, there we go. That should help. Yeah, it looks like people in Dallas, Fort Worth, they're currently getting the edge of that storm going through Fort Worth right now, heading into Arlington. If you're in Arlington or Fort Worth right now, this storm is dropping like golf ball size hail across the city. Um, All right, there we go. Yeah, apparently there's like golf ball size hail dropping in Fort Worth right now, and it's they're currently under a tornado watch. I don't see a tornado warning, although a tornado did touch down far west of Fort Worth about an hour ago. But a ton of hail, ton of golf ball size hail right now. So if you're in there, just be real careful. Andrew says Dan Yee's in Dallas. I hope he's okay. Looks like it's a pretty bad nighttime storm over there. Actually, that's a real nasty one to hit the city. I really wish we had a better radar. This is such a shit radar. Hold on. Such a terrible, terrible, terrible radar. Okay, maybe the National Weather Service Mosaic will be better. Do they have a radar? They got to have a radar, right? Let me see if I can get a radar for this particular area. That doesn't work. Fine. I mean, this one's it's got a lot of smoothing on the product. I'm not a huge fan of smoothing on radar products right now. I like to see the actual radar returns. Can we switch to base velocity? Ah, nope. Sorry, guys, I wasn't planning on doing a weather thing, but I'll have a look. No, that's not what we want. Apparently, the weather map on Weather Underground is broken for Dallas. It's not getting any updates, which that's just great. I'm going to check one more place and then I have to go back to doing true crime, unfortunately. Uh-huh. Let's have a look at this one. All right. So there's the two storm cells. There's Dallas Fort Worth. There's Dallas. Let's see if we can go. That's base reflectivity, base velocity. Let's have a look at the. So this product that I'm looking at, base velocity. This is like wind inside of the storm. It's hard to see on this particular product. There's a better radar that I like to use. It's a program that you run on your computer, but it costs a lot of money. That has really good radar products. It's like the one they use on the Weather Channel and Fox Weather, where they can flick through the different tools and it can show you things. I'm not seeing any like massive couplet or anything at the moment. It is a real a very messy storm on that radar, unfortunately. DP correlation coefficient. Let's have a look. Let's see if the C. So this is a product we call CC. It's called correlation coefficient. And if you look in here, if there's any sort of debris in the storm, say a tornadoes on the ground, it'll pick it up. It's very hard to tell with these stupid warning boxes. Can we take them away? Apparently not. But it will tell you if there's any sort of objects that are within the storm that are not rain, that shouldn't be there. It's almost like unnatural items that are either not rain, not hail, not moisture. It'll be things. This is a very noisy image. I don't see anything that would correlate to a tornado on this image as such. You'd be looking for like a couplet, which is like where the colors overlap on the radar. You get the opposing colors and they sort of join together, and you get like a blob of color on each side. This is what we call a couplet. That's where you get rotating winds within the storm. Radar can't really show it to you, so it shows it to you as like the two dots side by side. And if you have that and then you overlay it on this particular product, the CC correlation coefficient, and you get that some sort of abnormality or anomaly that matches with that couplet, you would then be looking at possible debris within a storm. But I don't see, at least not right now. It's like a patch here that I'm a little worried about, but it's not deep enough. It would be like this really deep blue, and it would be very noticeable. Like you would see it within this red, and it would be like deep blue. It would be a real strong color because you would have debris from homes, from buildings, from whatever. All this thing here, this is all noise. This is all noise. This is because the radar is trying to pick up thunderstorms. And where there are no thunderstorms, it basically gives you noise because it's not picking up anything. So this is the storm here. So I don't see anything right now. Hopefully it stays that way for people in Dallas Fort Worth. And yeah. Hey Texas, hope you're okay, my friend. Colleen says we want to know, please don't apologize. Kelly says, yeah, I like extreme weather and it can be crime related. We should do like a crime and weather related stories one night. There are quite a few. There was a woman who was killed during a hurricane a few years ago. So there was like this really bad hurricane in Georgia, and she was murdered during the hurricane. Her killer hid her body and said, "Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't see her until, before the hurricane, and then the hurricane came, and so who knows? Maybe she got killed in the hurricane." And they eventually figured out it was the partner. Kathy said, "Is that Trisha's area?" Yes, it is. Sirens in Dallas are going off. Yes, I am hearing the same information, but I don't know why. I can't see a tornado signature within this storm, at least not on the radars that I have access to. I'm trying to find like some sort of better radar for us. Here we go. Can we zoom out on this radar? Oh my god. Actually, oh my god, there is a tornado. Actually, there is a tornado, guys. For real, I actually think there is. Check this out. Watch this storm come through. And watch for there, right there. There's the hook. There's the couplet. It looks like it's not quite as strong now, but there was a tornado just in Fort Worth. There was a tornado out here earlier. There was the couplet out there. And then as it comes in, there it is. Right there. There it is again. Another couplet. And there's the couplet heading over this area. It looks like it's north part of Fort Worth near Tarrant. Tarrant? Is that? Yeah, Tarrant. If you're near Tarrant or Hallam City, roughly, yeah, somewhere south of Tarrant City. I don't know. It's Fort Worth, but I don't know what the suburb is. Yeah, you guys can see that. Watch this. Watch as it comes through. There it goes. There's a couplet right there. There's the other couplet right here. And then it's hard to tell. When it gets over the radar site, you don't get as good an image because there's a part across the radar, across the top, that does not give you a clear image of the storm. But there is a effing couplet going across Fort Worth right now. That is why the sirens are going ballistic. And there is a possible tornado going through Fort Worth and then into Dallas now. Holy crap. When was the last time an actual tornado got down in DFW? It's got to be ages ago. I don't remember one. Not recently, anyway. Let's see if we can refresh, get a new scan. Please tell me that's from today. I mean, please tell me it's not from today. Looks like it's current. That's bad. I hope everyone is taking their tornado precautions in Dallas right now, in Dallas Fort Worth. That's a nasty ass storm that's coming through. Look at that couplet right there. Couplet right there. You see those colors? See how I was telling you about the two colors that they go side by side like that? And you get that swooping hook echo, what we call a hook echo on the storm. Within that hook echo, you get those colors that go side by side like this, like two dots. That is your rotation within that thunderstorm, especially when you get that bright colors. Sometimes they're a little dull, but when you get those bright pinpoint colors, that means tight rotation within that storm. It's not broad anymore. It's really tight. And it means most likely, it depends how high up the scan is in the storm, but it means there's enough rotation in this storm to produce a tornado. Doesn't mean it's going to touch down, doesn't mean it's on the ground, just means there's enough rotation in this storm to produce a tornado. Because the rotation goes all the way up. It goes all the way up in that storm. It doesn't go like just on the bottom. That whole storm is spinning. So that's what you're seeing in the radar. You're not seeing a tornado as such until you get a debris ball, which I don't see one here, thank God. Maybe that's why we weren't seeing it on the correlation coefficient either. Maybe there's nothing on the ground. That's a nasty radar. Yeah, that's a really nice hook echo, and then that couplet. So I really hope everyone's taking their tornado precautions. Really do. That is really scary when you get these nighttime tornadoes and then they go into a city. That's like really like worst case scenario. It's really bad. But yeah, that is definitely a hook echo. I think it's a rain wrapped hook echo because when I was looking at the other radar, you can't see that hook. And I reckon maybe there's a ton of freaking rain in it. And that's why you can only see it on the bait on this particular product, which is annoying. Jeez. I hope this updates. Give us an update. Come on. Give us a new scan. There we go. There's the new scan. Okay. It's okay now. Oh, thank God. It looks like it did have a hook echo, like right there. And then there was another one on the next scan right there. And then there was probably one here, but now it's very broad. See this? See, it's not there anymore. That colors side by side is now much broader. Those colors are there, but they sort of almost line out a little bit. That rotation is now really broad within that storm. That's actually a good thing. That means most likely it is lit. If there was a tornado, it is lifted. It's looking a lot less scary now. And it is past Fort Worth. So if you are in Fort Worth, it is now past the area. Woof, that was a scary couple of minutes. Yeah, it's very broad now. Very broad, but we might have to change radar. Yeah, let's go to... We may have to go to a different radar site because it's edging out of that zone. I'm going to go into Texas. Let's go... I'm gonna have a look at this one. So there's the storm right there. Can we get rid of these alerts? Show on map. A severe thunderstorm was located near Grand Prairie, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Tennis ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Radar indicated, which means if this was a tornado warning and it says radar indicated, it basically means that a storm tracker or someone like that hasn't seen a tornado on the ground, which is good news. What does this one say for the tornado watch? The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch 1:48 until 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time Sunday, which replaces a portion of tornado watch 1:44. The new watch is valid for the following areas: Collin, Cook, Dallas, Delta, Denton, Fannin, Grayson, Hopkins, Hunt, Johnson, Lamar, Parker, Rockwall, Tarrant, and Wise. This includes a bunch of cities like Allen, Arlington, Bonham, Brea, Bridgeport, not Bridgeton. What does it say here? Is this radar indicated? An extreme event that is possible to develop. Tornado watch. So thank God for that. I really hate their website. That's better. There we go. So that looks like the storm right now. Can we get rid of these warning boxes maybe? There we go. There's the radar. So it looks like it's leaving Fort Worth now. Thank God. It had literally... Yeah, it had a couplet right here, south of Tarrant, right on Dallas Fort Worth, right on the city, right here. There was a tornado that possibly went through right here. Brutal. And now it's moving out of there. It's heading east, heading into Arlington, heading into Arlington and yeah, Grand Prairie. So if you're in Arlington or Grand Prairie, it is now your turn to, well, there's already a cell over them and there's a second one coming behind it. So they just got hit by one and there's a second one behind it. Wow, what a night for Dallas. Jeez. You're welcome. Rachel said, I'm seeing videos of flooding roads. That's what I said before. I believe this to be what we call HP, high precipitation. It's got a lot of rain in it. That's why that other radar product couldn't see the hook echo within it. I think it's rain wrapped. And if there was a tornado in there, it would have been really hard to see because it's nighttime. But also, I think there's just an absolute crazy amount of rain. So unless that tornado is right on top of you, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it unless it's like in your street. Yeah, unless it's in your street. Chipmunk says, maximum velocity does a good job on the storm. Says 7 severe warnings, 0 tornado warnings. There is a picture from one earlier. The one from earlier is further west in spring something. There was a tornado reported earlier in Springtown, which is west of Dallas Fort Worth. So that's where there was a tornado. It was reported. Showing hail footage from viewers. I got some on my phone. I just saw some. The hail looked about to be about golf ball size hail and just pounding down in DFW. But there was a hook echo on that storm. I hope there was no tornado. I hope there was no internal tornado. That radar footage looked really, really bad. Looks a bit better now that it's getting out of Dallas Fort Worth. That other storm, that one that just went through Dallas Fort Worth, may actually collapse. If you look at it, see how it kind of had that big hail core on it? Big white hail core, and now it doesn't. It's got a little bit left, but it seems to be not as heavy as it was. I'm hoping this storm, the one in front of it here, I'm hoping it may actually absorb the one behind it, and it'll just become the one storm, and it'll sort of jump forward a little bit. This one will sort of go into this storm and be absorbed. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen because it's sort of diminishing. It's sort of getting smaller and smaller. Let's hope. This one here still has a ton of hail in it. Look at all that white. That is white and purple. That's pretty big hail. Yeah, I would like this one to die off and then just have this one. Brutal. Dallas Fort Worth. Hope you guys all survived. Hope there was no tornado. Definitely looked like there was a nice couplet on it though. But nothing on the correlation coefficient. If there was a tornado there and it was picking up debris, there would have been readings on the correlation coefficient. You would have seen it. I didn't see anything. Hopefully that is good news. All right, let's see. Who is messaging my ass all the time? Okay, what happened? What is going on? Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Kathy said, I can't find any storm coverage showing hail footage. You can try max velocity. He might have it. Thavi said, it looked like on AccuWeather that it was moving east to down. Yeah, it's gone now. It should jump forward. Let's have a look. Brutal, eh? Yeah, it looks like it's moving this way now. Dallas Fort Worth is out of the firing line. And it's just about to pass Arlington now too. Thank God. Arlington's just about out of the clear. And it looks like it's just going to get past Dallas too. What a wild night. There must be just hail everywhere. Look at that big white core. Poor people in these areas. It's weird. I can't remember the last time I remember a tornado sort of possible storm going through this particular area. It's been a while. And you got some further north too, up near the border. Don't know what these ones are doing, but they look pretty healthy. These ones just look like monster, what we call hail producers. I think these were mostly hail. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Thank God it wasn't an EF4 that happened like the other night. What? 2 people were killed in Dallas tonight? From what? Not from tornado. Most likely from the rain or something. Let's have a look. Yeah, at least 2 dead. Injuries reported. Far out. That's not good. At least 2 deaths occurred in North Texas. Storms ripped through the area on Saturday. 1 person was killed and numerous injuries were reported. And at least 20 families in Runaway Bay area of Wise County were displaced after severe storms caused major structural damage across multiple neighborhoods. In Parker County, 1 person has died as a result of the storms on Saturday night south of Springtown. See, I told you there was a tornado that was in Springtown earlier. They said winds of EF2 strength or greater are suspected in Springtown. Vehicles appear to have been tossed and power lines are down and roofs are missing. Yeah, EF2, maybe EF3, roofs and moving of cars. Yeah, that's about EF2. Yeah, it sounds like that town really got hurt. Oh, I really wish I could take you to this video. Is that live? No, it's not live. Yeah, I'm gonna refresh this page. I'm gonna take you to it. This is the damage that was earlier.
Fatality in Springtown. Marissa, can you just give us an idea of the scene and where you're at?
Absolutely. Well, we are here in the city of Springtown in Parker County, which has seen majority of the damage here. As you heard McKenna say, officials have confirmed that there is 1 person who's died. They didn't say the exact location, but they did say that that happened south of Springtown. Now, I do want to show you a little bit of what the situation looks like here. You can see there is extensive damage. It is a little hard to see in this area just because it is so dark, but we're here off of Rising View Court, and not only are there downed power lines, but we've seen sightings of homes, trees that have been uprooted. And some of the folks in this neighborhood tell me that sheds have been entirely pulled apart, as well as carports. You can see that there's a lot of damage. If you take a look over here, we have something that looks like an air conditioner and parts of a home here. And I want to talk to you guys. I want to introduce you guys to some of the folks who live in this area. I know you guys kind of experienced this. Tell me what that was like when the storm passed through here.
I was sitting on my couch with my baby and my baby brother who's 6. And we started feeling the house shake. The lights went off. And then once it was over, we came outside and everything was gone. Like my car was damaged. I have trees uprooted in my yard. I can't really walk down my ramp without tripping over tree branches. It's crazy. And I didn't think this was happening. I was so scared.
Yeah. And tell me how scary that was for you. I mean, the area here, the power is still out.
Yeah, it was. I've been through plenty of tornado weather in my past, never been directly hit before. I woke up out of a dead sleep, and then I go to my living room and I told my husband, I said, it felt like my house was about to go right off its foundation. I really knew it was serious. And then we hit the closet, and I just kept telling myself, I thank God we're here, because I really thought we were going to die. Yeah. Now my structures besides my house are gone, and my house is extensively damaged too. So
Those poor people near Springtown, that is terrible. The fact that like you heard them just woke up from a nap or sleeping and their home was basically gone. That is they're gonna have to like rebuild. That is really sad. Really sad. Um Yeah, it looks like the storms have mostly sort of calmed down. It was like the last hour or 2 looked like that was really dangerous weather for the Dallas area. I'm glad it sort of moved off to the east now. I think Arlington's out of the firing line. Yes, it is. And it looks like Dallas is just about out of it now. There's a little bit of yellow still affecting them on the radar, but oh no, they're out of the green now. Good. They're just about done. Just a bit of rain, maybe a bit of hail, but they're out of the core, and the storms are going to race off to the southeast, east, southeast now, and that is it for the night. I think this line of storms is basically done. Not done for Dallas, not done for Texas, but they are going to move off, and we'll see if they make it to the Louisiana border. They might not, but they're basically gone now. So, yeah, nighttime's pretty scary. I mean, you have to have your tornado precautions in this time of year. You got to have your bag. You got to have your go bag. You got to have your National Weather Service radio. You got to have everything sort of set up, and then if you get the siren, you go. You go to your safe part of your home. You hunker down and wait for the storm to pass you. That's what you do. Make sure you get to your bathroom or the most interior room of your home. Anywhere that has a lot of pipes, anywhere that you know in your home that may have a lot of pipes in the wall, that's what you want. So that's why we tell people to go to bathrooms, because there's a lot of piping surrounding the bathroom, which in a tornado would be one of the last places to be destroyed. Other rooms that don't have pipes may fall, collapse, the roof may come off, but in a bathroom you have all this steel in the wall, all the steel piping, and it helps to protect you, almost like a safe room, but not a safe room, but sort of. And that's why we tell people, go to the bathroom. If you have a bath, lie in the bath and cover your head. Cover your head with anything you got, mattresses, pillows, blankets, whatever you got. Cover your head and put your pets in there, and keep your radio on. Keep your National Weather Service radio on. It'll tell you what's going on, or have it tuned to your local CBS, Fox Weather, whatever it is, and get your updates from them. All right. Glad to hear they're out of it now. That is good news. That was a bit scary for about 20 minutes. All right. What's going on? Okay. All right. I don't think we got much more. It's been a funny Saturday night. It's been a bit quiet in the true crime world. Let me see if I got any other stories. I don't think I do. Just wanted to give you the update about the case in Florida that we had been following. The fact that they had basically told the family something very different than what the media was reporting, which I found a little disturbing, to be honest. I found that disturbing that the family knows all this, and apparently the Floridian media are just not reporting on it. So, okay, this might be interesting. Let's talk how sport and the NFL sometimes are into true crime. Apparently, a NFL player has been named as the last person to see a woman alive. Here. Two-time Chiefs Super Bowl champion deemed person of interest in woman's death in Dominican Republic, according to a report. A body was reportedly found at a property once owned by Mike Pennell. Oh, that's interesting. They're saying the body of Carly Francesca Guzman Roche was found at a property that was owned by Mike Pennell, who has won 2 Super Bowls with the Kansas City Chiefs after she disappeared in 2021. She was declared missing in September 13, 2021 after not being heard from for 8 days. Her body was found on the property which Pennell sold last year. In January, while a worker was digging a trench, they found her body. The home is in a gated community on the northern coast of the country. Pennell denied any involvement in a text to ESPN. He says, "This isn't a story. I'm not legally involved. This is fake news being reported. I'd advise you to speak to my agent lawyer before writing a false story, damaging my reputation. I don't know, buddy. Women go missing. They end up on your property. They are found while workmen are digging a trench. I don't know. That sounds pretty suspicious. Let's see if we can find anything else on this woman. Not a lot of information about who this woman might be, and there's like no reporting on her. Interesting. I'd love to find a photo of her. Yeah, they're saying Carly Guzman Roche was 22 when she was declared missing after moving to the northern coastal tourist town where Pinnell had a home in a gated community. The National Attorney General's office said in a statement that she had not been heard from since September 5th of 2021 and that the search for her covered the entire province. Two sources close to the investigation said Pinnell sold this property last year and the body was discovered while a worker was digging a trench in January. Her body was only recently identified after officials compared her DNA to a sample from her son, who is now 8. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think he sold the property, ran back to the US, and hoped to get out of the country at the time? Yeah, did you hear about the ex-NFL player uh used to No, I haven't heard about that one. A YouTuber is doing viewing on the shooting inside the diner. I just want to finish this and we'll have a look at that. I find that's really strange that he would just head back to the US. You got to explain then. You own the property, right? How did her body suddenly become buried on your property that you sold and then moved back to the USA? That is a question you need to answer before we go, we believe you about not being involved. That is pretty sketchy. And the fact he's all like, this isn't a story, I'm not legally involved, this is fake news being reported, I'd advise you to speak to my agent and lawyer. Strange. Yeah, I find that interesting that he is somehow a person of interest in the murder of a woman. How did she end up in the trench? How did she end up under the ground, buried? That is a good question. Yeah, if I buried a body on my property, I'm never selling it. Right, and he's a millionaire, so he would never have to sell it if he didn't want to. Yeah, he definitely has some explaining to do. I'm not saying he's guilty, just that he has some explaining to do. That is very weird. All right, hold on. Oh, you mean the shooting at the... Was there a different shooting at the diner? Or are you saying, is there a shooting at a diner or just a shooting at the White House dinner? If it's a shooting at the White House dinner, I'm not interested. I think we did enough on it. Footage inside the dinner. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I thought you meant there was like some sort of big shooting inside a diner somewhere in the US, which does happen. No, I'm not going to do that. They can have fun doing that. I don't have any interest in doing that. Okay. I think that's it for tonight, guys. What are we going to do tomorrow? I got no idea. We'll see it a lot, probably. I'm going to get out of here. I will see you tomorrow. I have no court for the foreseeable future. Everything for the pre-trial for Samantha Murphy is sort of at a sort of a stop point right now. we're sort of just at a hold and wait and see point in time, and there's no court dates on the book, so I don't have any court this week. Should be able to hang out with you guys all week. I don't have to come in late, which will be nice. We've been in court for about 3 or 4 weeks now. Oh, no, about 2 or 3 weeks. We've been every day at this bloody court hearing. So none of that this week. I don't have to do any of it. So, all right. Gail said, "Did you see the shooting on the Mexican pyramid like a week ago?" Yeah, I did. I also saw that there were 2 CIA agents that were basically they had gone to a meeting about busting a large drug manufacturing plant in Mexico, and then somehow on the way home, they randomly crashed their car off a road into a ravine and died. That doesn't sound suspicious at all. The fact that they were just at this large meeting about this giant, apparently they thought it was going to be the largest illegal drug manufacturing bust ever in Mexico, ever. Apparently it was huge, like a huge bust. And then somehow these 2 agents driving away from the meeting, they randomly died. How does that work? Kelly said his whole house lit up like a Christmas tree. He said he fell asleep and woke up and she was dead and he didn't know how. Okay, I have to look up that story. I have never heard of that one. Yeah, you guys don't know about the CIA agents? Hold on. Yeah, it's they're calling it an accident, but I don't know. What is this one here? Yeah, I don't think we can use that one. That's okay. All right, I'll take you to this one and you guys can hear about it.
White House have sparred over the deaths of 2 Americans who died in a car crash in northern Mexican state of Chihuahua, after reports emerged linking the victims to a CIA operation that targeted drug cartels in Mexico. President of the country has issued a stern warning against American boots on the ground. According to the state prosecutor, the 2 Americans were returning from a raid on clandestine drug laboratories when their car, which was part of 5-vehicle convoy, skidded off the road and went into a ravine. The convoy was also carrying soldiers and members of the state investigation agency. 2 Mexican investigators also died in the car crash. State prosecutor claimed that the 2 U.S. Agents killed were instructor officers carrying out training duties as part.
This is what Mexican authorities say was a massive drug lab hidden in the woods. You can see rows of canisters, bags, and ovens, a rare look inside a secret meth lab in northern Mexico. But tonight, what happened after the law enforcement operation is raising questions about U.S. involvement in the crackdown. A source with knowledge of the matter tells NBC News 2 CIA officers, along with 2 Mexican officials, died following the operation this weekend in a car accident. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum is promising a thorough investigation, adding that while Mexico and the U.S. share intelligence, joint operations are not permitted under Mexican law. So far.
So, if joint operations are not permitted under Mexican law, what were they doing there? Why were they having these high-level meetings at the time? Yeah, it's really strange. Suddenly they go to this meeting and then all of a sudden they wind up dead. It doesn't sound kosher. There is something going on there. How did 2 CIA operatives just wind up dead in Mexico? It doesn't sound okay. There is something really off about that, like really off. I just don't think that it just doesn't sound right at all. I'm trying to find a better source for information for you for it. It's weird. It's only been sort of put on like a very few channels, very few. It's not been widely reported for some reason, and I don't know why. It's just not been put out very much in the public. Here, I'll take you out here.
New details tonight surrounding a mysterious car crash from over the weekend in northern Mexico, killing 4 people, including 2 Americans initially identified as working for the U.S. Embassy. Well, it turns out, we learned today, they were indeed working for the CIA alongside Mexican officials on a counter-narcotics operation that was first reported by the Washington Post. The 4 were coming back from a drug raid right here in the municipality of Morelos, Mexico, when the car crashed. Now, this right here, video just released from the secret lab off in the wilderness. Mexican officials now say the car skidded off the roadway, went down a ravine, and exploded. Now, this week, Mexico's president now demanding an explanation from the U.S., saying her security officials were never informed of any joint operation with the United States, adding they will carry out a full investigation to see if any national security law has been violated. Meantime,
Yeah, sure you will. Sure you will. It'll be the greatest investigation ever. I don't trust any Mexican government. They are all controlled by the cartel. All of them. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say to the public, ever. They are all either paying the cartel or doing things for the cartel. Because if they don't, they wind up with their head on the stick on the side of a road. The cartel are infiltrated everywhere in Mexico. Everywhere. Government, police, freaking medics, everything. Army, military. They are everywhere. And anyone who wants to argue differently is naive. They are at every level of the government, and yeah. And if they aren't, they are dead already. That's right. They just annihilate people who are not on their side. And you know, she can call herself whatever, but it's just all a game. It's all a game. You know what the game is? I don't know why anyone gets into politics in Mexico. I mean, I'm sure they want to make a difference, but you got to know that your life is hanging by a thread. It's hanging by a thread. It is. Every time, every decision you make, you could wind up in a ditch. They'll abduct you and kill you, and they'll never find out who did it. It happens to so many people. Is that what she said? I think it was Chichihuahua. I think that's what the town is. Did she say Shishiwawa? I think the CHI is very hard for people from India and other, you know, subcontinent countries to pronounce, because in their way it sounds like an S word. And I think it's not. Like they can't pronounce like the CH very well. So yeah, she said it like is that what it was? Shishiwawa? I don't know. I don't know what she said. Is that what she said or I said? Now I'm confused about who said what. But yeah, I think it's a hard word for them to pronounce because of the CH or the CHI. It doesn't work well. It's like Canadians. Canadians can't pronounce the word Craig. You know people named Craig? You ever seen a Canadian pronounce the word Craig? You go find me a Canadian that can correctly pronounce the male boy name Craig. It's not doable. It's not doable. Canadians can't pronounce the word. They pronounce it like Craig. Craig. She couldn't pronounce victim. I didn't hear it. No Americans can't? No, it's Canadians. It's Canadians. Canadians can't pronounce the word Craig. Not a chance. They say Craig. That's what Canadians say too. They say Craig or Craig. She couldn't pronounce victim. I mispronounce things every night 50 times a night, so I'm not gonna make fun of her for it. Texas said that's how I say Craig. Craig? Yeah, you got to pronounce it Craig, like as if there's an AI in it, not like just a CRG. Crag. His name's Crag, like Crag Glue. Remember Crag Glue when we are young? Remember Crag Glue? Do you guys have that, or is it Clag? Clag Glue. You remember Clag Glue? This is how they pronounce the word Craig. They pronounce it like this glue. Like Clag Glue, it's Crag Glue. There you go. Crag Glue. That's how you pronounce his name. What did Chipmunk say? Chipmunk said, I can't hear the difference on Craig. That's pretty funny. Kelly said, yeah, I've never pronounced it with the I. If you do, you might be saying their name correctly. It would be good. But yeah, if you can call him. I want to see Americans like secretly change the name over the years and add the L, and then eventually Craig in America and Canada becomes Clag. That'd be great. You'd be like, why are you calling me Clag? That'd be funny. Gail said there's also other names also. It's like asking our friends in Scotland to pronounce a cat burglar or a burglar alarm. They can't do it. So there's multiple languages and people from around the world who struggle with everyday pronunciation of certain phrases and words, Australians included. Kelly said, I just learned I've been saying Craig wrong my whole life. Really? Yeah, there's an I in there. There's an I in there. Gail said, I can. Can you? Because I've seen a lot of Scottish people try. Chipmunk said, I can't say that word. I just say robber instead. You can't say burglar? All right. What do you call the guy at McDonald's that takes all the hamburgers? He's the hamburglar. What do you call him? The ham robber? You're like, oh, we're gonna go to McDonald's. We're gonna see the ham robber. Is that what you tell your children? Your children have been living a lie. What happens after that? You're gonna just change words of things. So instead, Chick-fil-A, you're like, no, it's veggies, filet. You have to go there and you have to order veggies. They don't sell chicken. You're lying to your children. The ham robber. That's so funny. He's not the hamburglar. He's the ham robber. Chipmunk said, I try saying it often to fix the issue, but I just sound drunk. It's purple burglar alarm. Yeah. Yeah, you could try that too. Gail said, I've lived overseas, so my accent is dumbed down. All right, you crazy burglar alarm people. Have fun. Don't get robbed by the ham robber. And don't visit Veggie Filet. Don't have fun there. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you then. By the way, please support the channel. I don't know what's going on at the moment, and I'm sure it's probably got something to do with the like everyone's just going through the crazy prices of fuel and stuff. Like fuel's gone through the roof. So I get why people are not able to support the channel right now. I get it. Cost of living is just through the effing roof for everyone. But if you can, I would appreciate it. We've had a lot of super chats lately, but no PayPal donations. It's weird. We get one or the other. It's like we get a run on those ones and then we don't get the other ones and we get that one. Either way, I'm very thankful, but you guys are very kind and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm very much looking forward to getting to frickin' trial. I have put so much time into this trial already and I can't even tell you anything about it. It almost feels like delayed gratification because I can't tell you anything. It's like I've sat there for weeks watching this thing play out in court and now we're delayed for we don't even know how long yet. It could be a month, it could be a week, it could be 3 months. Don't know right now. Yeah, it's a little frustrating because I really want to get to trial and tell you all about what happened to Samantha Murphy and what are the different cases and why they think this and who thinks what and where that happened and this happened and there was a giant otter, there was a raccoon, there may have been an octopus somewhere. You know, you never know in these crime cases. So I'm looking forward to it. It just, you know, sometimes the justice system works very slow, and it's almost like when things are running good, they run good, and then sometimes they just things things get out of hand and just slow down. Kelly said, "You know how jurors feel in the States." Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Although jurors can speak to the public after, our jurors can never speak about it. That's the difference between the countries. The jurors here are not allowed to speak to the media about what happened. But in America, once you get a verdict, you can talk to whoever you want. You just can't speak for anyone else, and you're allowed to say, I think you're not allowed to say what other people said or something like that. There's like some rule. But yeah, here you can't do anything. Gayla said a ham robber. Yeah, that is our friend. Who was that? Was that Chipmunk? Chipmunk takes her children to McDonald's to visit the ham robber. Yep, that's what she does. The ham robber. She's never going to live it down now because she's like, oh, I can't say the word burglar. So I use the word robber. So now she will ever be known as the ham robber. Forever. That is now her nickname. Gayla said, can they write books? No. No, they can't. They can't talk about anything that happened. They're basically sworn to secrecy for the rest of their lives. I'm sure they can tell their family or whatever, even though it's probably illegal, but they're just not allowed to talk to the media. Yeah, there you go. Kathy Lynch, she told you how it works. It's the ham robber. All right. All right, you ham robbers. Let's get out of here. I will see you tomorrow. It was a fun Saturday night. The tornado bit wasn't fun, but the rest of it was. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.